Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with me by hitting that subscription below. It's free, and the bell notification to be notified of my new uploads. Thank you so much everybody for your comments, suggestions, and your feedback on my questions to you on the video I did, I believe, 2 days ago about helping out people in need. That I get a lot of messages on Messenger, Facebook, or on Instagram that some people are unfortunately not able to buy thread or yarn to create pieces because they're under budget with their lives. They're either on low income security or on welfare, and it's impossible for them to buy it. So, but they do watch my videos. They admire my videos. So, thank you for the comments that came in for that. So I had made a video 2 days ago requesting your opinion. It's been months behind my head to try to come up with something and do something for them. For most of us, we're fortunate, very fortunate and blessed that we can go to the store and buy 1 roll or 2 rolls or 3 rolls of thread here and there and keep our minds busy, especially for people that are lonely, people that are very much alone or have certain mental illness and things like that. This really does help these people out by keeping their mind busy. Now, I've tried my best, and I will still keep trying as much as I can to get everybody on board with me and help me out with this, to help these people out. I would like to make a draw once a month, and if it's possible, if we get enough money to buy the threads and ship it out to wherever they are, it doesn't matter. As long as they receive it, will be shipped out and registered and proven here, of course, on videos to you guys that it has been bought and shipped. So I did create a PayPal account, like I mentioned on the video that I was going to create a PayPal account, and your donations and your seeds are very important to help out with this, because obviously I cannot do it by myself. It is too expensive for me. It's already expensive as it is to ship out. And we know that threads and yarns, sometimes you guys are lucky in the US or Canada. You can sometimes get them in special for the people that have more fortunate ways of getting it than some other people does. Special or not, they don't have means to get it. Okay, so I'm going to link that video that I made, and you can still make your opinions on it. I would really appreciate. I'm going to link it down below on the description box, and I asked for your help. Whoever freely wants to help, nobody's forced to anything. Join me to help create these little boxes of thread for these people and to send it out to them. I will link also my PayPal account below. You're more than welcome to give whatever you feel like. $1, $2, $5, $10, $10, $20, 50 cents, $2. It does not matter. It adds up at the end. And first and foremost, I would like to thank so much, so much, so much, so much appreciated to one of my followers on Facebook, because I did post it up on Facebook also, and she saw the video and heard what I was saying. And I had created a PayPal account yesterday and put it up on my Facebook. And she happened to be the first one that sent $20. Of course, I'm in Europe, so automatically PayPal, does the exchange rate. So it came to 17.96 euros. Okay. And so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Barbara Foot. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name properly. Fout. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. That is such a blessing that you are doing for somebody. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. That was so nice and so kind of you. So she's the really first one that donated towards the threads. Of course, we'll need much more than that to buy, because it comes out. I mentioned on the video, this is almost like $10 a roll. These are 100 grams. But then again, it's anything over 500 grams on shipping they charge me almost like $25. Okay, so obviously the $17.96, that's already a big help. We can get 3, right? Almost 4. And but we still need the money for shipping. And I want to do like a box, let's say of 6, 2 of each color, or if I had more money into the paper, I would do a box of 12. Because obviously when you're going to work on a piece, 100 grams is not going to be enough, especially if you want to do like a table runner. You will need at least 200 grams for the centerpiece. And then if you're adding flowers, then you can use another color. And I would send 2 of each color so you can have enough to create flowers and leaves and centerpieces and so on and so forth. Anyway, I will link all that below. Once again, Barbara, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I mean, may God bless you 10 million times more, okay? Okay, people. So another thing I want to mention, right up top, there's 3 little buttons on the right-hand corner. You can slow down the video without pausing constantly. You can open the 3 little dots right up top on the corner and slow down the video to the speed you would like so you can see it slower. And turn your CC caption on, which is closed caption, should be right next to the 3 little dots. If not, when you open the 3 little dots, it's right there. So click on it, turn on. Anything I say will be written down here. Okay? So I am creating. As you can see, I have the book here. Me and my craziness of drawing, right? So don't mind that. I'm good with nails, but I suck on paper, right? So I have... This is Ladybug, Portuguese, 100% cotton thread. I'm sure you saw the video. If you didn't, you can look it up where I buy my threads. I went to the store and showed you the different combinations of threads. So this is size 4, and then of course right under is the number. And of course, Ladybug in Portuguese, Joaninha, which got you the design of the ladybug. 100% cotton thread, 4-ply. I'm going to use 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors. Now, I'm creating a blouse for my beautiful, amazing mother that is so darling, so much love her and adore her. Okay, so this is no different than the other blouses. Well, the motive's different, but the build-up is the same way as I put out all the other videos. So here's my little blouse. Now, you have to measure shoulder to shoulder on you. These are 12 centimeter squares, okay? So you have to have a 4-ply or something similar that comes up with the 4 centimeters in order to have, whatever size, I guess, you're planning to make. My mother is a full medium to a large. So I'm making a full medium to a large. Because these are 12 centimeters, there's a good size already of a square, as you see here. It's big enough, okay? So I'm doing 5 squares up top, okay? Never mind these are the sleeves, okay? So I'm doing 5 squares up top. And the length, she wants a little bit more past her waist, so it goes right in the middle of her hip. So I'm doing 7 down. This is a full medium to a large, okay? So I'm doing 5 across and 7 down. And you have to have the same amount front and back. With these blouses, there is no front and no back. They can be worn whatever way, right? If you need to go larger, all you have to do is just add more here. If you want to go longer or shorter, you decrease or you increase on the squares, because this is built up as squares, right? Now, here where I have the little crosses, it's where we add the next square for the sleeve, okay? So it will be added here, and it will be added here on the corner. Okay, I put the cross here. It will be added here on the corners and up top. Obviously, you're not going to add here. This is where your arm go through. And then if you only want 1 square, you leave it at 1 square. If you want 2 squares, then you're going to add the next square. If you want long sleeves, then you continue to add the squares, okay? So, and the same thing on this side. We're going to add squares for the sleeves up top next to the square that we will build front and back the same way underneath the armpits. And if you want it longer, I'm going to use 2 for mom, so she doesn't like long sleeves and she doesn't want only one. She wants a little bit over the arm, so I'm going to add another square there. Okay, also here on the bottom I'm going to leave a V opening. I'm not closing in back and front square together halfway. So I'm only going to create, I'm going to attach front and back together until the half of the last square here. So we can have a V. She likes openings on her sides. So I'm not closing the 2 sides, half of the square. Okay. What else I wanted to mention before I forget? Oh, yes. Now, when we're adding the front and back of the 5 squares here, right, from the sides, never mind these 2, these are sleeves, like I mentioned, I am closing because this will be part still of the arm, right, of your shoulder. Let's say this is the shoulder here. So I'm going to close back and front when we add them together. I'm going to close until half of the second one here from this square. So this will be the neck area. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here, only half. Obviously we can't close it all the way to here. We can't close the 2 because then you would have a hard time to put your head through. So I'm doing 1 square that I'm going to close back to and front, and half back and front, only half on the back and front the same way. It's only going to be half square that will have the attachment, which I'll show you so you don't get mistaken anywhere. Now, of course, it becomes much easier when you're doing 6 squares. If you're making the full large to almost 1x, then you can leave 2 out, 2 in the center and 2 on this side, right? So you'll have like 6 squares. Let's say, let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6 up until there. So you leave the 2 center ones. You don't close, but you close the 2 here and the 2 here, and the 2 in the middle stay out. That's for your neck. Okay, so very simple. Now the first thing you need to do is create your back or your front, whatever sizes that you need, which I already did with 1. And I have my 5 squares up top. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I have 7 coming down, which is for the length. So I have front or back, it doesn't matter. It's already done. Let's see if I can get a little bit more lighting here because this lighting is starting to suck. Let me try this again. Maybe I can get a little bit more lighting here. Okay, so front or back, I've done 5 rows up top until 7 rows of length. Okay, so I put this aside just when I'm ready to create already front or back. Let's say this is the back that I finished creating. So now I'm going to create the front. So basically, because we know it's 5 squares, I'm going to do my 7 rows of only 3. Because the 4th and the 5th, as I create them, I'm going to add them to the front of the blouse already. So I'm going to advance myself on creating 7 rows. Not 7 rows, I'm sorry, 6 rows, because the 7th row we're attaching on the shoulder up top. So I'm going to create 6 rows of 3. Coming down or going up, whatever the case may be, 6 rows. My 7th row, I will be adding, as I'm adding them, I will be joining them already here. It will be my 7th row. So I'm going to be joining this square until half of this one. Then the next stays out. Okay, And then I'll be adding the same thing on this side, okay, which I don't have the other one to demonstrate you, but you understand what I'm telling you, right? So this will be like my middle piece. I will have another one here, which I will be adding. So this one, let's say, is going to be added to the next one here until halfway. And then on this side, the same thing. I will be having this one here, okay, until halfway. So basically, I'll be having this part here of the neck out, okay? So I'll be doing, like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will be doing only 6 rows of 3. Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's not 7. It's 6 rows. I'm sorry. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, my mistake. So 5 up top, 6 going down. The last time I did her 7, I got confused for a second. Okay, so I have 5 rows up top, shoulder to shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is my top part, 5. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I did an extra one here that I shouldn't, my mistake. So take this one out, never mind. So I'm doing 6 rows coming down. Now you're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, you're going to build 5 rows of 3, the center, okay? 5 rows of 3. The 6th row, we're adding up top and on the sides. Now, what I suggest that you should do is, I'm going to do it so you can follow me. I'm going to build my, excuse me, my 3. I'm going to build my 5 rows of 3 here on the center. And when I'm going to come to my 4th, I'm going to build my side. When I come to my 5th, I'm going to build the other side. So I'll have all of this open here. And on my 6th row, then I'm going to close in my 1.5 up there. My 1.5 up there. So very simple. Do your middle, your 5 rows middle, like I'm doing here now. Put this aside. So I'm doing my 3 rows, and then on my 4th one, I'm going to add my 4th. Once I'm done my 3 rows, my 5 rows of 3, my 4th one, I'm going to add on my sides. Okay, so it's going to be added as I'm doing my 4th one, okay, all the way. And then on my 6th one up top, I'll be adding into the shoulder 1.5. But I will show you, right? This is just more or less to give you an idea what it looks like, okay? So let's get started, everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to add 2 on, from the length, because remember what I told you, I'm doing the back part, okay, back or front, we'll call it the back. Let's say the front's done already, which is 5 across and 6 down. Now I'm going to do 5 rows of 3, and then on my 6th row I'll add up top, and then my 4, 5 I'll add on the sides. So I'm just going to show you. I'll have the video for the squares. If you want these squares, it will be listed on the description box also. So you go there, you create the square. I already show you on that video how to add it on over here, but I will show you again, make it easier on you. but you will still have to go there to see how the square was built. Okay, so I'm just adding on. Okay, so I've added my corner, 2 chain, single and 2 chain, and then do my 7 double crochets, because you will see this on the video of creating the square. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, and one more 7, and then I'm coming into the next one, the loop, single, 2 chains, coming into the back loop of the other square with a single, 2 chains, and into the next loop, single, 2 chains, and into the next loop on the back, single, 2 chains, coming into the next one here, because we're only tying in 2 places. And then once I do the single, I come directly into my 7th chain that I have there. And I'm going to do my 7 double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now I'm going to attach it in between. I'm showing you this because I only have this attachment on the tutorial. I don't have the 4 attachments, and somebody asked me on the comments, how do we attach? So you come right between them, the ones that are already attached, with a single. You come back. Oops, no, we have to do 2 chains, sorry. 2 chain. Get distracted very fast, don't I? Okay, so after your 7 double crochet, 2 chain, now you come in and you go right between the attachment of the 2 squares that's attached already. You do your single and 2 more chain, because these ones here in the corner are 5 chains, right? So that would count as the 5 chain. And you do your 7 double crochets. So 4, 5, 6, and 7 double crochets. We come directly into the first loop with a single, and we create 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come into the next one, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single. Now we're decreasing on the loops here, right? So 2 chains already. I'm going to come directly after I create my 2 loops, come directly into the next loop and create my 7 double crochets. 2, 4, 6, and my 7. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back in and create your 7 double crochets. I'm still like a bit congested and sometimes I have a hard time breathing. Good God. Chronic sinus is like the worst. 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Come directly into the next single, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think I did 6. Okay, into the next loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into the last loop, and we go directly into the first one that we created. Obviously, you didn't see me do it on here, but you will see it on the video that you will create. Cut your thread, and we're going to tidy up. You want to make sure that this is well secured because you don't want your blouse to be falling apart. Now, I don't know if I might have to go to video 2 for this because sometimes explanations on long things like this takes too much memory on my phone. And by the way, people, some people have left comments and it's getting deleted automatically. There's some kind of problem with the YouTube program on their side that some of the comments are being deleted as you comment. They get deleted right away. I see it on my program here that it was deleted, so I contacted some of the people that I know personally that left those comments and mentioned for them to redo it again. They had done it again and it got deleted again. So I contacted the company and they told me to do a few things to clean out the cache and whatever, sign out and sign in and this and that and so on and so forth. So I did all of that. I wrote to them. I emailed them again. And I'm just waiting on the response. I did go on the internet and some other YouTubers, and some of them were having the same issue. So it's not just me. I think it's very well YouTube issues and not my program. So hopefully this problem will be fixed, or else it's a huge issue when you're trying to make a comment or a question or something, and it doesn't come through unless you have me on Instagram or Facebook, which everything is listed below just the same. So you can click on there too. But if you're only doing through here and you need to know specific answers, and sometimes your question is getting deleted, it's not coming through, I can't do anything about it. Okay, so now we got, look how pretty that is. Now we got that. We're going to create the fourth one. I'll show you the fourth one, and then you continue on, then I'll come back to do the attachment front and back, okay? Okay, so I'm on to the next one. So I've done my 7 double crochets, my 2 chain. I'm grabbing back to back, single, 2 chains again, coming back into the corner, finish my other 7 double crochets. Reminder also that you can do pillows with this, throwaway blanket or bed cover, whatever. I mean, there's so many things to do with this pattern, right? 2, 4, 5, 6, I believe, 2, 4, 6, one more. Another thing I'd like to mention, in case you do have a lot of yarn, a lot of thread, and you want to ship it yourself to the people that do need it, you could always contact me, email, and I'll give you the address, and you can ship it directly to them yourselves. Of course, it's going to cost you a bit depending upon where it's at. But, I mean, if you're in Canada and I have some people in Canada that are in desperate need, and I also have people in the States that also need. But I do have in Jamaica and Trinidad that absolutely needs it. 1, 2, 3. Not 3, 2. So we're going to do 2 chains. So we went into the next one with the single, back to back on the first loop with a single, 2 chain again into the next loop, 2 chain again, and into the last loop, because we only attach it on 2 loops, right? Into the last loop here before we do our 7 double crochets. And just get to sliding a little bit, coming in directly, and do my 7 double crochets, 5, 6, and 7, 2 chain. Now I'm going to come where all of them are attached here, come right in the center, single, 2 chain, come back and finish your 7 double crochets. These are the corners, and only the corners takes the double crochets. 7 on one side, to the 5 chain, 2, 4, 6, one more. And why do I say the 5 chain? Because it's 2 going up, a single will make a 3, 2 coming down will make a 5. Okay, next space, single, and chain 2, and we're adding on to the next one. So first loop, single, second loop, single, 2 chain, and last loop, single, 2 chain, coming down, and go directly with a single, and go directly next loop with the 7 double crochets. 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2 chain. Okay, just so you have an idea. Okay, so it's only attached into 2 loops there. And now we're going to go into the last corner here. 2 chain, single, 2 chain, come back and finish your, 7 double crochets. I have my arm on my other desk and it just slipped it right off because I have to like crochet with my hands stretched out. It's kind of hard and have the mobile right up my mouth, my nose. So it's even hard sometimes for me to see. 2, 4, 6, 7. Single next space and then 5 chain. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next space. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last space. And then we're going to go directly into the 3rd chain on the double crochet. Cut it up. And then tie in your loose ends. And there it is. How gorgeous that is. Okay, so continue yours. I'm going to continue mine until I have my 5 rows. On my 6th, I'm going to tie it up top. And on my 4 and 5, I'm going to tie it on my sides. I'll come back to you at that time. Okay, everyone. So I pretty much did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows of 3 squares, because then I'm going to do my 4th attaching and my 5th attaching and my 6th attaching up top on the shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to start with one side here already. Doesn't matter whatever side you take. So I've started my 7 double crochets. I'm in my corner. I'm going to do my 2 chain. I'm going to come, you can start, well, I'm going to start by the bottom because the 6th one is tightening up the shoulder. So I'm starting right on the bottom. Let's say this is the bottom. I'm going to start my first attachment in between. As we're attaching the corners, nothing changes. And we're going to continue to attach here and do our 7 double crochet. We're going to attach the same way like we've been doing. Just that when we get, so we're going to attach it here the same way, right? But when we get here, we're going to attach it already onto the next pattern. Okay, so I'm going to meet you here at this corner so we can attach it to the pattern already. There's no point of recording this here because we're just attaching the 4th row on the bottom. Okay, you guys, so you see where I've attached it. So I've attached it here on the bottom. Now I need to attach to this pattern. Doesn't matter what side you take, just make sure that you're 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure that you're attaching on the side, right? Because the side is longer. And now we're going to attach it. Let me just get this camera a little bit further up. So we're going to attach it here now and here. So we can amend already back and front. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So did my 7 double crochets. So very easy, nothing to it. I'm going to grab back to back, single, regular attachment like we've been doing. You're just connecting back and front with the 2 patterns and continue to do your 7 double crochet. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so now we've attached the corner, single, 2 chain. I'm coming in to my first loop back to back, 2 chain again, into the first loop on this square, 2 chain again, into the next one with a single, and into this one. So now pretty much we have the 2 loops attached, right? Coming in directly after the 2 loops attached, create our 7 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, 2 chain, and coming in to the corner where we have the 2 squares from the back connected. So we're connecting in the middle, 2 chain, coming back in and doing 7 more double crochets on the same space. So we're doing corner, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Coming directly into the next space, single, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain, because we're not connecting nothing right now, right? And 1 more loop, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. And we have 2 loops that were created, preparing for the next square, and coming in directly on the 3rd space on the 7 chain with a slip stitch and cut your thread. And then we're going to tidy up loose ends. Okay, so now we have our first connection with back and front, right? So this is going to be like this. Of course, we have to add more squares, right? So we're pretty much connecting the side. Okay, so turn this way. Maybe it's better. It gets bigger, it gets more complicated. Okay, so here we've connected the side. Now we're going to continue 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this one we're not connecting. We're connecting here on top, but we're not connecting here. This is for the arm, right? So we're not closing it off, or else we can't put the arm through once we connect our 6th row, or whatever, how many rows you're doing of length. We got to leave one open, so we're only connecting up until here, because on up top we need. So we close 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll come back to you on the 5th so we can do it together, okay? And we're going to do the same thing on this side also. So you're going to build your square, and you're going to connect your square to both ends exactly as we just did. So if you need to rewind, go ahead. And we're going to close the same thing, 4 of these, and then I'll come back to you after the 4th one on both sides, okay? Okay, you guys, I just wanted to show you that I just added on the 2nd one, okay? So you know that when, of course, I'm still adding. I told you I'd come back on the 4th, but I only did the 2, okay? So remember, when you're adding, you're going to start here. You add your front to back. You have to add here. Same way, the adding is always the same. You're going to add here, the corner. You're going to add here, and you're going to attach already onto the other two here, and you're not adding here. You're just creating it for the third square, right? So it's the same thing as you're building 4 squares together. So you have to keep, you know, adding like an L shape and then a U shape and so on. So then I'm going to continue adding. By the way, I had mentioned at the beginning I was going to leave 2 sides open. I'm not leaving 2 sides open because my squares are big enough. It's wide enough. I mean, it's pretty stretchy as it is. So I don't want it to be too huge either and to have a great opening on the sides. So I think it's just perfect. So I'm not leaving the slit on the side. If in case you want to leave the slit on the side, just don't add the last square here. If you want just a bit, then you can add the corner. You can leave this whole thing open, or you can add the corner and add one here and just leave this size here. So you don't add here and you don't add there. That's all. You know, nothing to it. And if you want a big slit on the side, just add your corner because you need to add your square on the corner no matter what. And you leave this whole side and you don't add back to front. It's only going to be open slit here. Okay, so very simple, nothing to it. I'm not going to do it. I was, but then when I noticed that it's getting huge, I would say like a large. So I'm not going to add it. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and come back. Everyone, so this has been a little bit of a challenge for me. I had started wanting to do 6 rows down for the length, and of course only 5 on the width, right? But as I finished doing the 6 rows down, I've noticed it was too long. So I had to take 1 row out and keep it 5 and 5. Okay, so I have 5 rows length and 5 rows of the width. Now, I'm going to show you what I did because I closed off one side, obviously. And here is the one side closed. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th one. We don't close the side here for the sleeve. I did create the 6th one, but that goes up top on the shoulder. Okay, so it's 1 on the shoulder. Okay, so our 5th one, we're going to attach it. We're going to do the attachment L. We're going to leave this out, which is the arm, and we're going to leave the shoulder because we have the other one coming up top. Okay, so our 5th one, we're going to come into the 4th one here and do your attachment like the L shape. Okay. And 7 coming into the next one, 2 chain. So this is no different than attaching everything else because this one's going to come here and it's only going to touch here. We need the space here for the shoulder, for the arm, and then we have the other one that's going to touch on top of the shoulder. It's going to attach back and then the front. I'll meet you at the end once I finished my owl. Okay, you guys, I pretty much attached my 5th one, which I attached on my owl. It was the only one that was missing. So I have 5 rows down and 5 rows across because it's mom's size. I've done other blouses for her and I've used 6 rows, 7 rows, but it depends on the thread. And also it depends on the square, the size of square, because this square is a little bit bigger than the other ones I have used or different thread that I have used. Doing the 6 rows is too big. Okay, so now we're going to create another square and we're going to attach it. The back, it's going to come up top like that of the shoulder. So we're going to attach it here and here. Okay, so the 2 sides we do not attach because part of the neck and part of the arm. So we're only going to attach it like that. So we can have the arm sticking out and of course the neck part. So we're going to attach it all the way to here. Okay, so just create yours and I'm going to create mine and then come back to you so we can attach the front and back with one square. Okay, sleeve or shoulder I should say. Okay, so the sixth one for me will be right up top. Okay, and then I did two halves, one here and one in the back. Okay, so it doesn't fall off the shoulder, so we can have a little bit more support. So now we are on this one. So we're going to grab the back part corner because we're only going to attach it front and back. So with the single, 2 chains, you already know how to attach. There's no change on stitch. We're going to do the 7 double crochets, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to go directly to the next space with a single and 2 chain. Coming into the back first loop, single, 2 chain, front loop, single, 2 chain, and the other back loop, single, 2 chain, coming into the front loop with a single and directly into the 7th chain that we did for the corner, right? So now we're going to do the 7 double crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 double crochets, 2 chain. We're coming in between to the back squares, in between the 2 squares in the back, 4 and 5, and 2 chain, and back in to do your 7 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now this is going to go up top of the shoulder and we're just going to tie it on this one here. So we don't do the side of the arm or the side of the neck. I'll meet you here at the end. Okay everyone, so we pretty much closed in the top of the shoulder and we have our sleeve that's open. Now we're going to create the half. For some of you, not everybody needs to have this done. It depends on how wide. Mom's shoulders is quite a little bit wider than the rest of her body. She's bigger up top. So I don't want it to be bagging up on the front. So I'm going to do exactly as we were doing the squares, but I'm going to do half only. So if we were doing the 16 double crochets, we're going to do only 8 double crochets. Okay, it's still going to be the same weight, but only half. Okay, so 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 double crochets. So I'm going to pull into my magic circle, make sure it's closed in. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do 1, 2, the same thing as we were doing, 2 on each space. Nothing changes. We're doing half. 2, next space 2, next space 2, next space 2, next space 2, I had my thread all tangled up on my feet, imagine that. Okay, don't forget that we have the 2 more here at the edge. Because they're so tied up, we can barely see them. So you must have your 16 double crochets. So we're going to turn around. 1 chain. We're going to come back on the same one. Doesn't change nothing. It's the same thing as we were doing. Chain 3. I'm going to skip 1 into the next one. 2, 3, skip 1 into the next one. 1, 2, 3, skip 1 into the next one. Now we're going to do this to the front, and we're going to do this to the back. 1, 2, and 3. Skip 1. Now, I have 3 left here at the edge, right? So I'm going to skip 1, but I'm going to go right into the last one. So actually, I'm skipping 2, right? I'm going into, because I have 1 extra one. So I'm going to turn around. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to continue to do my 3 double crochets incomplete. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come back into the next space. 3 double crochets incomplete. So it's exactly the same thing. We're going to do this all the way until the end. Okay, coming to the end, I have my 2 incomplete. I want to make sure that I grab right on the corner here so we can have a straight flat line on the sides. Like that, exactly how we had started. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. No, not 7, I'm sorry. This is where it changes a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 only. I'm going to do my 7 in the center because we are attaching here on the corner. So we want the same motive here on the corner. Okay, so I'm going to come in. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to come in right into the first one. Okay, from the corner right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again into the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm right in the center here. And I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to come, so we're going to have 3 and 3. Okay, so I'm going to come in into the center here, but I'm going to grab it right on the corner. We want these corners to be, and I'm going to close it in with the single. So we'll have like the 3. Did we have the 3? No, we didn't, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to come in into the center. I don't know what I was thinking. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to have 3 on one side and 3 on the other. I don't know what I was thinking, but sometimes the brain. Okay, so we have 3 loops. 1, 2, 3 of 5, 1 of 7, and 3 of 5. We're going to turn around. And we're going to open our pattern here a little bit so we can work on it, right? Because we need to attach here on the corner. So I am going to come in the center of the loop, just like that. I'm going to do 1, 2. Now, you have your front before the sleeve, which you're going to do, grab your first back to back, because you have 2 loops on the squares, right? So you grab your first, and then 1, 2, into the next space. 1, 2, the next loop. 1, 2. Okay, so now we got the 2 attached. Now we're going to come into the next one with a single and right into the 7th double crochet. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'll show you in a second. So we're basically right where the shoulder is, right? Okay, right on the corner. And now we're going to attach it right on the, where the shoulder and the front meets. So we're going to do the same attachment. So it doesn't change anything. We're just adding on so it doesn't slip. And it looks much nicer instead of just a square up top. Now you can do the sleeves by adding 3. If you want sleeves, you just add 3 squares all the way to the desired size, and it's added the same way. So nothing changes. There's nothing to show you about, because it's just adding. You would just add the 3 sleeves if you're doing the 3 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 7. Coming into the next one, and 1, 2. I hope I got this right. 2, and I'm coming in to the back loop now of the back. 1, 2, into the next one. Single. 1, 2, and into the last one here. 1, 2, and I'm going to come directly in the corner here. I'm going to close it off like that. And I'm just going to grab it as I closed off right here, so we can have a nice flat dogs are going crazy. That must be Garfield that's coming around to bother them. Okay, so I'm going to show you. You're going to do exactly the same thing to the back part here, corner. Okay, which I'm going to do next, but I won't show you because there's no point in recording the same thing over and over. So basically, there it is. My shoulder. She won't. The neck fits still properly because, you know, we have enough space. And once she puts it on the shoulder, nothing is gonna like fall down. Okay, so I'll come back to you on it once I finish, and I'm gonna do a smaller edge just to complete top and bottom, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do mine. Okay, actually I said I didn't need to record the second one, but I do, because you guys need to know how we're gonna put this one on here, right? So the first thing you want to do is where we have the other half. So I'm going to do chain 2 from the last row, and I'm just going to come, just give me a second here. I'm going to come into where we have the top one here, right on the corner. Okay, 1, 2, come back in to the next loop. 1, 2. I'm going to come where we have the here, right on the, well, actually right on the loop here, right before the corner one. 1, 2. I'm coming right back in, and now 1, 2. I'm going to come, oops, no, I'm going to come on the first double crochet here. 1, 2, from the corner. Okay, from the corner. We're on the corner. I'm coming back in. I'm going right over to the next where we do 1, 2, 3. Actually, not this way, sorry. Right over already with the 7 double crochets. 2, 3. I'll show you in a second. 4. It will make more sense once I show you. 5, 6, and 7. So we're doing the corner 2 chain. I'm grabbing right in the center. 2 chain. Come back in and complete your 7 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Coming straight into the first loop. Let's single 2 chain. I'm going to come into the back first chain. 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. Into my second one here. 1, 2. and I'm going to close it off here right in the corner. Okay, let me just check something here quick. Okay, so I'm going to do chain 2 because I don't want it to be hanging from one side. So I'm going to come on my first double crochet from the next connection with the other squares. Okay, it's just so it can stay steady in one place. Doesn't look like it's too. I'll show you. It's going to make sense when I show you. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so now we have the 2 halves on. That's the back. This is the front. And now you can do 2 ways. If you don't want to do an edge, grab a piece of string, tie this here together, make a knot in the back, and you're good to go. Or you can do a single crochet all the way around. Everybody knows how to do the single crochet, right? I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so I've cut a piece of thread, and this is what I mean. You can pass your thread, piece of thread, doesn't matter, right up top here, where you think it's needed to close in. I'm going to do mine exactly on the same spaces. So I'm just going to come through and make 2, 3, 4 knots to make sure it's secured. Okay, so tie it in. We're going to have a nice closed finishing here. You want to make sure that you tie it properly because we don't want anything to come apart or even all your other ends. So I did quite a bit of knots there already. I'm just going to pull the string to one side. And I'm going to pull the other one to the other side and make a few knots with it here and there just to make sure that nothing ever comes apart. So make 1 knot, 2 knots, 3 knots, and you're good to go. Okay, so very simple. So I got this one is done. Just going to pull this one here. And a few more spaces here and there. We don't want nothing to come apart, right? So in order for that to happen, I'm just making a few knots here and there. And then pass your thread through some of the loops to hide it, and you can cut it. So I think we did pretty good knots already. Okay, done. So all of this part is done already. And then it's just single crochet. So we pretty much finished our blouse. Okay, look at that. You'll see it better once I display it. I will put it on and take a few pictures, and you can see how it looks like once it's on. I'm just going to do the single crochet, actually probably lying down double crochet. So, and the shoulders and neck is going to be single crochet. Okay, I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I have the waist. I'm right on the side where the sides are. So I'm going to come in where I have my attachments here with a single, 2 chain, double crochet, another double crochet, trying to hide my thread at the same time, 4 double crochets. So if you lie it down, I'm going to skip 1. I believe it's on the second one. But you go with the flow. Wherever yours falls on, this is where you're going to put yours. So 1, 2, and 3. And again, on the same space, 2, 3, and 4 double crochet. Now, if I lie it down, of course, I was right at the edge, so it worked out that way. So 1, 2, 3. and single, 1, 2, with that single makes 3 in the same space again, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, and I'm right here, so I'm going to go right into the loop here. Maybe not, maybe it's pulling too much, so I'll go on top of the 1, 2. I'm going to come right in the first one here. You have to go with the flow. 1, 2, 3, and then so on. So you just lay it down wherever it falls. This is where you hook it on. Okay, like don't try to push and shove it forward, because then it's going to be all crumpled up. So 4, I'm going to lay it down. So I'm going to come into the first single here of my chain, and this is what it looks like. Okay, peeps, so very simple. This does it for this tutorial. Sleeves and neck will be single crochet, so everybody knows how to do a single crochet. Thank you so much again for being part of this journey. Thank you for all your comments, your suggestions. Please give a thumbs up if you like the video. Slow down the video to see the stitching. Pause, read, so you know what I'm talking about. And I hope you'll be able to help others that are in need of thread and keep their minds busy. Please donate and find it in your heart to help others as much as I'm trying to help them. Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, I will have the pictures at the end with the blouse in display. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.